to get the attention that it is, getting at this point. So I think we mirror what's happening. The official announcement has not been made by USA Basketball, so it'd be premature for me to have any conversations about any player or anything.
Remember when Cheryl Reeve left Caitlin Clark off the Olympic team? Well, things just got interesting. Clark's latest performance has Reeve singing a whole new song, and it's one you need to hear. The question is, what changed? Clark never lets you off the hook just when you think you know her. Envision yourself starting a game and failing miserably at all 8 shots. The following achievement by Clark astounded even her most vocal critics, as any inexperienced individual would have given up under such intense scrutiny. Is a fantastic WNBA player on the way. From being left off the Olympic squad to establishing records, Caitlin Clark's tale is like a never-ending roller coaster. It should be remembered that Cheryl Reeve disqualified her from Team USA, but that rejection was the driving force behind Clark's success. She is actively altering the rules, rather than merely participating. Having said that, even the most famous individuals have terrible days. Recently, Clark has been slow to begin, failing to complete her first 8 attempts. Perhaps some doubters are whispering, maybe she's not all that. But Clark, shrugging it off, she continued as if nothing had happened. Everything that came next was the product of Clark's innate magic. It was like flipping a switch. She scored 23 points, dished out 8 assists, and grabbed 5 rebounds. It's not as easy as rebounding back, more like blasting into space. Her eyes darted to the challenge as she spoke the words, "Watch this." We can talk statistics today because the WNBA is a league that makes sense. Clark averages 17.9 points and 8.3 assists per game. To a beginner, that is just astounding. What we have here is a potential candidate for most valuable player, not just rookie of the year. On the other hand, this is where things begin to become interesting. Can you remember when coach Cheryl Reeve initially rejected Clark from the Olympic team? It would appear that her stance has shifted lately. After seeing the impact Clark had on the youngster, Reeve couldn't help but sense his star potential. When Clark wins games, even the league's harshest detractors start to back him. It appears like she turned her early lack of confidence into a driving force to become a WNBA superstar. As a result, everyone is scrambling to catch up. The point here isn't vengeance on an individual level though. Since Clark rose to prominence, the WNBA has been transformed. Not only is she breaking records, but she is also challenging preconceived beliefs about what a rookie can achieve. Every point, assist, and game played in Clark's jersey is a symbol of what women's basketball may become.
2 greatest things. I know the sexier part is probably the logo 3, but the pace and the passing is what makes her exceptional. Wanted a player or a league that can, sort of transcend some of these spaces. And Clark and some of the other rookies give us that. Obviously, Caitlin, being the headliner.
Think about it. How frequently does a rookie's arrival change the trajectory of the game? Clark is changing the way people see women's basketball and attracting spectators at the same time. Now that the league is taking notice of her, she possesses both talent and statistics. Clark must alter people's perspectives if she wishes to alter the course of events. Her most vocal critic is now cheering her on. What did you do, Caitlin Clark, that caused Cheryl Reeve to retract her statement? Remember how Cheryl Reeve was determined to keep Caitlin Clark's name out of the spotlight? Because of this complete and utter chaos, brace yourself for an absolutely wild trip. Reeve has gone from being a skeptic to a strong booster, but Clark can sink a 3-pointer faster. What then was the reason for the sudden change of heart? Permit us to take a brief trip through time. At first, Reeve supported Clark. She was fairly vocal about her disapproval of the rookie's newfound fame. Everyone in the league seemed to be noticing that Clark was stealing the show. But once something happened, Reeve's outlook altered. After witnessing Clark's remarkable play on the court, Reeve could no longer deny what was obvious. She pointed out, everybody knows that the reason why our teams around the league are having sellouts are because Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are coming to town.
As Sill's gone, and so this new era, to figure out what the best path is, to be successful. It's been happening, prior even to this team. This momentum, this wave, that we're feeling, it has been.
That is more than just a compliment. It is an explicit recommendation. Having said that, Clark's physical prowess is but one component. If Reeve's mentality changes, the whole WNBA might reap the benefits. Think about it. When a controversial coach like Reeve endorses a team, what does it mean for the league overall? This is now involving more than just one person. It has to do with how the WNBA finds promising young players. Clark is tearing down barriers careers in addition to breaking records. Because of her influence, women's basketball is reconsidering its future. Reeve didn't stop after acknowledging Clark's impact on ticket sales. In sum, she made the following proclamation: "The league has been building for a watershed moment and we're here." That is incredibly massive. Reeve makes this assertion as if to suggest that Clark is more than just a great player. She changes the game altogether. To what end, then, does Reeve's praise amount? It is simple: an encouragement from a WNBA veteran who has been there and done that says you're doing great. There is no one quite like Coach Reeve. She is a legend in everyone's eyes. There is weight to her claims. On the other hand, this is where things begin to become interesting. In addition to Clark, Reeve has found a motivating element in the WNBA's evolution, which has played a role in her decision-making process. Clark is changing the way people see women's basketball and attracting spectators at the same time. That is something that not even the most vocal critics can dispute. It is worth thinking about the possible chain reaction that this could cause. If Clark is successful in courting Reeve, how many more individuals might she influence? In the coming era of women's basketball, will there be an influx of new coaches and players? Now that Clark has apparently let the floodgates open, everyone is racing to catch up. We still need to take our time. Even as a rookie, Clark has challenges in the WNBA. How long can she keep this momentum going? Who will stand up to challenge her? Everybody, from players to coaches to spectators, is waiting for a word on these kinds of things. But there's more at play in this new era than just the skills of the individual players. Let your mind wander to a scenario where a WNBA regular season game attracts an audience of 19,000 fans. This is more than just a figure, it's a powerful tool. Does anyone else but Clark have the power to alter the regulations of women's basketball? The Target Center was bustling with activity as over 19,000 passionate spectators flocked there. This was more than just a game, it was a performance. By the way, the center of gravity is Caitlin Clark is my name. This rookie is making waves as a basketball player and altering our view of the WNBA as a whole.
Surprised me, and I think the WNBA this year, the ratings are going to be great, and the better she is, the higher that league is going to climb.
Yeah.
To get the attention that it is, getting at this point. So I think we mirror what's happening.
Think about it. About 7,000 people show up to see the Minnesota Lynx play each game. After Clark got there, though, that number more than tripled. She seems to have some magical ability that transforms every game into an incredible spectacle. Though Cheryl Reeve had her doubts about the Clark commotion before, the influence eventually got the best of her. She said plainly, "Everybody knows that the reason why our teams around the league are having sellouts are because Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are coming to town." Not only is that flattering, but it also recognizes that Clark is causing a stir in the business world. On the other hand, this is where things begin to become interesting. In this league, not even Clark's Indiana Fever are at the top. Their seating arrangement is 13-16. Given that, why should anyone be concerned? If a team is winless, why will so many fans still tune in to see them? It is simple. Not only is Clark a player, but he is a phenomenon. Every game she plays becomes a magnificent spectacle thanks to her remarkable talent. Whether she's making impossible threes or dishing out assists that amaze onlookers, Clark's amazing skills attract viewers. The things that happen away from the court are equally crucial. Clark is leaving an impression all across the WNBA. The media's renewed focus, the incessant online discussion during games, and the enthusiasm of fans have all contributed to the league's recent renaissance. Others have drawn parallels between Clark's influence and that of other basketball greats, such as Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. They accomplished much more than simply play basketball. They transformed the NBA into a world-renowned superpower. Perhaps the WNBA is seeing Clark in a comparable capacity. Some signs have been found. People who are contemplating making a purchase. Viewership is at an all-time high. Someone who has only recently begun their career yet is already well known. Clark has a larger impact than other ticket vendors on how people view women's basketball. But first, let's slow down a little. Even as a rookie, Clark has challenges in the WNBA. Should we expect her to be able to keep up this pace? Will the other players be influenced by her star power to step up their game? All parties involved, including players, coaches, and fans, are captivated by questions like these.
I am never going to try to be in that situation. Caitlin Clark might make you want to lose every game.
The official announcement has not been made by USA Basketball, so it'd be premature for me to have any conversations about any player or anything.
A fantastic season awaits the Women's National Basketball Association. Now that Clark is at the lead, and even the most vocal critics are praising her, women's basketball might be entering a golden moment. Think of the cascading effects. What does it signify for the postseason if Clark manages to attract 19,000 spectators to a regular season game?
And sometimes I don't even realize how far away I am. Like, I watch it back on film and I'm like, wow, I should not shoot that shot.
You're going to talk about, you're going to ask me privately, are we going to tank for Caitlin Clark and like that? Like, it's not.
When competing in events, considering the entire league, at this point, it's not just about Clark. The spotlight is squarely on her as women's basketball has a new beginning, an occasion when the Women's National Basketball Association is the center of attention, not an afterthought. With so many talented players in this league, each game is sure to be an intriguing one. More people than simply Clark and the WNBA stand to gain from her success, which is the true tragedy. In the grand scheme of things, it's good for basketball. It's inspiring a new wave of players by showing that top-notch basketball is top-notch basketball, regardless of gender.